All right, y'all, what is going on? Quick little week off, Um, it's the first week of November, and we're coming close to the end now. Originally, when I started, the goal was to always end around Thanksgiving, and then last year we ended like early December. I think this year we might end right before Christmas. I think that's the goal. Um, We'll see, but I think that's what we're gonna do. So we got a handful of episodes left. Now I'm gonna go ahead and let you know now because I could do a surprise or two, but I like y'all know the vibe. So this week and next week is just gonna be solo. I know, since we changed the niche around and I'm on in a limited capacity. This is the first time in season 6 where it's 2 back-to-back episodes of just me. And that is gonna be rare. Now, of course, that was common in seasons 5 and before, but now that's pretty rare. So this week's episode is a good one. Got a lot I gotta talk about, but it's a celebrity that's been having a moment in the press and in the world, and I really wanna speak on some stuff, and I'm pretty sure y'all know who I'm talking about. Rhymes with Kanye Pest. Okay. And that's not a joke because I don't think he's well, I'm gonna get into all that. So first of all, as you know, we don't do the titles no more, but we do the meme. The meme this week says, I'm not defending anything in this season. Y'all got it unless they said I blank. I'm gonna reveal because again, y'all, we transparent here. Nobody's perfect, and we don't preach perfection because that's just you can't be perfect. You gotta strive to be perfect, but with the mindset of you'll never be perfect. And this episode is actually centering around keeping your mouth closed, letting God fight your battles, and really just not choosing to be at peace and not trying to make people, we did the unbothered before. I've spoke on, fighting, but this one is really more specific and more like targeted as far as really, not letting stuff get you to the point where you got to explain yourself. And I've said it here and there before, and we've had episodes that kind of centered around it and partially, but this is from a totally different angle compared to the other episodes where it's been similar in the past. So the inspiration for this week. So one of the messages for the year 2023 by Valerie Moore, where she said, hold your peace and let people say what they want. That's very hard to do, especially when people are intentionally trying to take you out or intentionally lying. But it's imperative for this hour. Obviously, Exodus 14:14, Lord, fight for you. All you need to do is be still. And then I brought it up earlier, Mr. Kanye West. I said pest. I wasn't trying to call him a pest on the slick. I don't think he's a pest. But I'm gonna get into my take on everything as we get along. But because I'm by myself, y'all know it's time for the story time. This week's story time is titled "Shut Up." Leslie had it in. Leslie was going around and getting talked about by everyone at her school. She came out the bathroom and she had some tissue fall, and everyone assumed that she stuffed her bra with the tissue. In reality, what happened was she was coming out the bathroom rushing, and I guess some tissue stayed around from her wiping. Somebody seen it and went around telling everybody, hey, Leslie stuffs her bra. People made jokes and things, and one person actually pulled her to the side and asked, hey, Leslie, do you stuff your bra? Leslie said, no, I don't. And that was the end of it. She didn't explain herself. She didn't go back and forth. She let people think what they wanted to think. Eventually, the little joke stopped and nobody even brought it up anymore. But while they wasted their energy being petty and trying to be funny, Leslie held her peace, didn't respond, didn't feel the need to prove anybody wrong, and let the people come onto their own demise. All right. Short little story, nothing major. So this one was spot on. I didn't write it down. I just thought about it on the spot. But Yeah. So basically, but the lessons are still here. So the first lesson is shut up. The second lesson is every battle that you're invited to, you don't have to show up to. Keep that in mind. And politely defend yourself without having to try to prove yourself. I think a lot of times people be trying to like, no, look, this what happened, this what happened. Because the thing was, the story sounded crazy already because it's like, oh, which is even it low key might even be worse if they found out she was trying to finish herself in the bathroom and then some tissue came out from that. And then, just from being on the toilet, you seen the TV shows and it's happened. You just stepped on a piece of tissue before, you know, and so you try to explain that, and people already want to believe one thing, and then they might think that sound nastier. So you just kind of just be like, "They actually was that the case? You're not lying." He was like, "Nah, that didn't happen." But you know how people can be. So it's just like y'all got it. And then as we saw, eventually people forgot about it and stopped talking about it and went about their business. So that's good, right? This week's definitions, I went ahead and defined defending. It says resisting an attack made on someone or something, protecting from harm or danger. And then I went ahead and defined reputation. It says the beliefs or opinions that are generally held about someone or something. All right, y'all. So before I move to the next segment, I got to take my time to speak on some stuff that kind of went down. So first and foremost, Halloween was this week. And I saw a meme that said, I don't know what's scarier, Halloween or knowing that the rent is due tomorrow. And the rent due, obviously was due the first 3 days. And I've learned some places it's the first 5 days. And I used to be that person that liked to pay my rent like on the last day, like I was really doing something like, y'all gonna get it when I feel like it. But I had something happen one year and money came out unexpectedly and I was short on rent. So I just paid while I got it because you just never know. And I'm trying to figure out if I want to renew my release at my apartment. Everybody who knows me knows I've been at this apartment for a while, but my logic is if I ain't getting into a house, what I'm getting to another apartment for, my apartment is fairly cheap. And I've been here for so long and I don't like moving. When I moved in this apartment, I moved in with a handful of stuff. Not clothes. I always had clothes and shoes, but like apartment stuff. And now to do all the moving will be a lot. And also, I don't really go out on Halloween. I'm terrified. It's always something to go down. Like putting fentanyl in y'all candy, y'all kids' candy. Y'all going to these raves, and you're in the raves having a talk from like the machine. It's really some poison gas. You wake up in the middle of the floor with your costume, with your lion costumes on, ladies with your booties out, and then your pockets inside out. And yeah, you might post that video in your story talking about we had a time last night. Yeah, you did. You did have a time last night, a time you don't remember. And sometimes them do be the best ones, but not that one. Also, I want to give a big shout out to Takeoff. It's as sad. That was sad to hear about his death. It's untimely, it's one of those things where it's sad. It's just sad. It's like you can't really say much, but it's really sad, and you hate to have seen that have gone down like that because it didn't have to be like that, but it was. And especially and then the thing was the gun wasn't even pulled on him, and that's how it be. Wrong place, wrong time. That's why you have to be aware of your surroundings at all times. Who you with? You just never know what people be on. And the last thing I want to speak on is they talking about a time last night. First of all, I think every school's homecoming this year was lit because a lot of people didn't have one last year, and the last real one was 2019. But Texas Southern's homecoming was it. I went to college for the first time fall 2012. This was probably the best homecoming I've ever been to at that school. It was that. So it's one of the ones that's gonna be hard to top moving forward. But I love to see Black excellence. I love to see the low vibrational plates. I love to see everybody having a good time, doing line dances, two steps, and seeing their old friends and even their old enemies, and I seen a post that said, shout out to my homegirl. She had said she made a post on my some. I'm glad to see everybody at home coming as big as me. Yeah, people get big, and we knew that was coming, but it's never too late to change. I mean, they can change their diets if they want to or change their life, or they might be comfortable big. They might like being, Fickianas. I don't know. But, I'm happy that everyone had a good time. And as we go through now talking about making the proper choices, Halloween is always not a good choice for me. You can argue with your mama. I don't care. Takeoff's death is and I don't want to say it like that, but unfortunately, you gotta say he didn't make the right choice. He was at the wrong place at the wrong time, and obviously he didn't ask for that. And it's not fair that his life was cut short to something so stupid. But it's just like, dang, because I don't know. I'm different. Maybe it's just the discernment in me. Maybe it's the God in me. I don't know. But when I get bad vibes, I at this point in my life, I kind of flee the scene, and I just wonder, like, did he get a bad feeling? Did he get like you typically get a good premonitions and stuff like that. And now, when it comes to HBCU homecoming, one, I'm gonna say you didn't make the best choice if you didn't go to one, but also if you didn't even like go to the HBCU homecoming, but if you didn't even go to an HBCU, you didn't make the right choice. And that's how we're gonna do that today, and we're gonna move on. So, all right, let's jump into the first real segment of the day, which is QT&A, questions that need addressing. And as always, for my people here, because we don't do this that often no more. For the people who feel like, hey, what is question that needs addressing? It's some things that I'm asking, and I want some answers. And I kind of discuss the answers, and I want people when they watch this to maybe get a take on it or two, or even think about it or talk about it with the people they're around at the time, or talk to themselves if they listen to it by themselves. First question: why do people get on social media whenever they get mad? People got to stop doing that. I'm at the point where, and I decided this a long time ago, I don't like posts and deletes. So for me, I feel like I don't want to post nothing and have to delete it later. Cause then it look like I'm not standing on what I said. And we could say post it in the close friends, so just the close friends can see. But it's a lot of ops out here. We just seen a few celebrities get exposed for posting curse stuff in their close friends. One of them being Erica Banks. But I mean, although what she said was like horrible, at the end of the day, she said in her close friends, it wasn't like she was tagging her fans or nothing. She was talking to her close friends. She felt comfortable. Somebody ratted on them. So I think it's just best to just keep it to yourself or write it in the journal or do something different. I don't know, mate. I don't know because you just never know. So smear campaigns, for those that don't know, are when people try to go out and destroy people and ruin their reputation and try to take them out, try to make them look bad. I'm gonna say this: every dog has their day. So if you going through one, mark my words when I tell you, you gonna see them people catch theirs. And it may not be when you want it to, it may not be fast, it may take a while, but they're gonna get theirs, especially if they do it to you, because they do it to you. A lot of times they've done it to other people. And then so it's just like, especially if that conversation go all day, but we don't talk about it more later. And the third question: what is your fill in the blank? So today's meme, which I'm gonna play it again for y'all, for those of y'all that forgot. The meme says, I'm not defending anything in this season. Y'all got it unless they said I. So what is my I? Or what is my like blank? Well, I would say maybe if you said I like stole from somebody, or like, I don't know, I probably wouldn't trip off that because I know I'm not no thief, or like say I don't know, because I didn't been said, everything has been said about me. So I don't know what's my non-negotiable. But I feel like some of y'all got one, and I know it's gonna play into a joke and somebody gonna laugh at it, but I don't know what's mine. That's something I gotta really think about because I thought I had one, but then when I think about it, it's like, I mean, like I said, I literally been called everything, like everything. Unless I don't know. I lost weight people, so I was doing crack. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. That's a good question. So that's even something I'm stumped on. So y'all think about that, and we're gonna come back to that one. All right. So then now let's move into the other segment. What does this have to do with mental health? So now, according to an article titled "Let God Fight for You" on IBelieve.com, it says that in this life, opposition will come, tough circumstances will pop up without much notice, and people will come against you or do things that will just completely shock you. However, when these things happen, know that you are not alone in the process, that God is your very present help at your time of trouble, and let Him help you in perfect time and be your vindicator and defender. The more you realize that, the more you'll begin to let go and not take matters into your own hands. That's the problem I think a lot of people have. People want to, and I've been there. I've been there. You want to take it into your own hands and you want to say, nah, y'all got me messed up. This is what y'all not going to do. Even if you're right, it's stressful and it just brings about more drama because it's just too much back and forth. And like I said, unless you're getting paid to go back and forth with people at this point, that's dead. I mean, it's dead unless you, like I said, on the Love and Hip Hop. And I've said this before. I'm gonna keep saying that you on the Love and Hip Hop. You on the reality shows. You a boxer. You got some beef with somebody on the internet, and y'all low key getting paid or endorsement deals for it on the low or out in the open. I don't know. It's not worth it. It's just too much energy. It's too much energy. Now, mentally, you can feel as though everybody's against you in the smear campaigns. You feel unheard, and that can mess with you mentally as far as like, dang, like nobody's listening to me. And it may make you spaz out, may activate or reactivate some childhood trauma or something, or you feel unheard, and then that's bothering you, thinking, why does this person got a hold on these people like that, or these people got a hold on them like that, where you this big green monster and you really didn't do nothing, or you might have did something. So let's flip it. What if you did do what if you did what they said you did? Because we gotta flip it. So what if you did? What if you was out here scamming people? What if you was out here, sleeping with people's spouses or stealing from old people, which has happened. That does happen. Or you was out here lying on people, or what if it did happen? Then you just kind of gotta take it to the chin, take your L, and go about your business because you did it. But if you didn't, it's just like, dang. Because people getting away with slander and lies can really damage, I feel like, your self-esteem. It can make you feel like, evil people winning. But like I keep saying, and I said before, every dog has his day. When people do evil stuff, it's only gonna last for so long. And even if they don't get got messing with you, they're gonna do it again and get got then. Now, I don't want you over there rejoicing at the downfall of people. Gotta catch myself. But at the same time, you have to realize that, like I said, every dog is gonna have his day. Everybody is gonna have to deal with something. And even if they don't, you want to be so at peace where you just like whatever. Because I was gonna say this later, but I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go in on it later. And I saw this on a TikTok, and it was from a podcast. And the girl said, "Your reputation is one thing, your character is something else. Your reputation is what is thought about you, whether it be at a job, whether it be amongst a group of people or organization, and then your character is who you actually are. And eventually, your true character is gonna come out. But at the same time, if people don't want to hear your side, then that says something about them, and you can be like, I know what type of person you are. Some people don't care to hear it, or some people only believe negative stuff, and which we had an episode on that before. Unfortunately, as humans, we tend to believe negative stuff first without questioning it, and that's something to keep in mind too. Destroy reputation can hurt you in a lot of ways. It could stop people from, I think a reputation, and I don't know why I randomly thought about Rick Ross. And y'all remember when he did put a Molly all in her champagne, she didn't even know it. I took it back and I enjoyed that. She didn't even know it. He did that. No, not maybe not that part. And maybe, but he said it. And although it was just a line in a song, it still implies rape. And he lost endorsement deals because of it. But what's the situation where somebody did what everybody said they did and they was looking crazy? Um, it's on the tip of my tongue. I don't want to be basic and say R. Kelly. He did it. Made a song confessing he did it. And it's just so crazy because that's one case. And then I think about, Kanye. And I'm gonna come back to that later, but like with R. Kelly, he did it. The evidence was there in the beginning, and people still was like, "Nah, I don't believe that." And it's just like the evidence is in y'all face, and y'all refuse to accept it. And that just also goes to show you people gonna be people. So anybody out here dealing with a smear campaign or somebody trying to destroy them or mad about it, some people just gonna believe whatever, and it depends on who it is. So you got to be at peace with that, and that's something. Hopefully, this episode helps you to be at peace with that. Now, coming from careersinpsychology.com, it says before the dawn of the internet and social media constructs, a reputation was a word of mouth opinion held by the majority of a community. Today is everything. Everything you write, post, tweet, publish, and memorialize. If you are working towards a career, yes, you are aspiring to secure positions which require the appearance of emotional stability and unbiased intellect. Therefore, if you are someone who likes creating a tidal wave of shock, what you post today might very well drown you out of the job you apply for tomorrow. That is why it's important to immediately begin to consciously and intentionally manage your public persona. Your reputation is much like your height. Once you have it, it doesn't change. So, wow. Your reputation is much like your height. Once you have it, it doesn't change. So again, but see, even with that, so somebody might say, dang, these people got this impression of me or reputation of me. But what y'all gotta understand is again, you could be like, great example with me. So the next question I was gonna ask was, have you ever had a bad reputation? Yeah. And then the other one was, have you ever had a bad reputation at work? But I look at both sides. There are people who've loved me, people who've hated, people who didn't care for me, people who will ride for me. So it's just kind of like you really have to be at peace with whatever. Like you can't live by praise and die by criticism because some critics are just going to critic. That's just how it is. But in the same breath, some people are misunderstood and some people are over understood. And I just think that bad reputations are hard to beat. But you have to just know that you're going to get taken care of. Because I've been in situations where, y'all, it looked horrible. And I feel like God kind of swooped in, not right away. It took a little bit, but it kind of fixed everything. And I don't even at this point feel the need to go out my way and to address anything. People go on these public rants on social media. We about to talk about them in a minute. But I see no need to do that at this point because even if you're right, you look pressed. Even if you're right, you look pressed. And then it's like, okay, look, you pressed. Then it's gonna be that one person that say, why you defending yourself? Why you guilty? You must be feel guilty. So it's just a lose-lose. It's a lose-lose. Let's move into the weekly sabbatical where we reflect, and we are going to be talking about Mr. Kanye West. Now, is Kanye crazy? He had a whole song where he said, name one genius that ain't crazy. So there's that. Do he be lying? I don't think so. Great question. I had this debate with Jazz. What? Last week? Is he around the right people? No. Kanye needs to be around wise counsel. His emotions are justified. his actions and the way he handles situations, not so much. He be spazzing and yelling and screenshotting people and posting them, and it's just like you ain't wrong. But what I wish he would learn, which I've learned for the most part and still learning at 28, you just gotta let some people have it. You gotta let some people just be okay with being in delusion and thinking that they're right. You have to let just some people say okay. And I know that's hard when you know people out here dead wrong and you're like, nah, you gonna feel this, but everybody can't feel you. And I'm learning that everybody can't feel you. Let them just think they wrong. Let them think they right. Just let them think they right. Just you got it. All right, cool. I bet. All right, okay. Because if you really protect it for real, it's not gonna go too far. And that's a hard reality to really grasp. But is Kanye gifted? Absolutely. In more ways than people realize. Some people see it in the other ways, but you know, that'd probably go over y'all head because y'all probably think I'm just talking about music and creativity. The real Jews. He told not one lie. Time where somebody said they had posted a black baby and a white baby, and then on the black baby it said Jew, and on the white baby it said Jewish. So the ish, and I was just like, but again, as I keep telling y'all, anytime you're there publicly attacked and annihilated by the government, the world, you're doing something right. His approach is not the best. His delivery is horrible. But he's saying the right stuff. The issue here is people struggle with, you know, how with what people think about them. Ultimately, that's what it comes down to. And people feel they gotta fight back. And at this, and really what people feel realize is you punch in air, you fight in the air when you do stuff like that. Because, like I said, some people genuinely don't care. I remember, and I think about one of my friends, and she said, you know how the age old phrase when people be like, oh, if this person feels comfortable to talk about me in front of you, then that means you be talking about me or something like that. And I remember, shout out to Fran. Fran was like, some people don't care. They just don't care and they'll say whatever. They really don't. So it's something y'all got to realize that some people don't care and just trying to defend yourself is just unnecessary. Now, according to how to let go of other people's think about you. People's opinions are not in your control. Something inside believes that if you just think about it or worry about it a bit more, then you can somehow fix people's views and how you want them to be. But again, it is just not true. See deeply that you cannot control what other people think about you. That is the biggest freedom in America. In America. In the universe. One of them. Not caring what nobody think about you. It takes a lot of wisdom. It takes I think a whole lot of prayer, and it takes a whole lot of, but it's definitely doable. And when you do not care, when you have, and my goal and one of my things I've been really trying to get is like I said, I want impenetrable skin. Like they say tough skin. I want impenetrable, where you could shoot a whole torpedo missile, cut me up with a sword, shoot me with a tank, and I would be like, and I'll look down and be like, oh, what was that? Like, not even what was that? I just happened to look around and see the remains on the ground. That's how unbothered I'm getting to be. I just don't care. And when I was one extreme before, so that's why I can speak on this because I'm not all the way where I want to be. But if this is the line, okay, this is where I want to be, this is where I was. Okay. This is where I want to be. This is where I was. I'm like, not all the way there. Do like that. Not all the way there. But I'm definitely more closer to it than over there. So that's good. It then says, according to Why You Should Never Defend, Explain, or Justify by Russell Bishop, it says, if you recognize the tendency in yourself, here's a little tip that I have found personally useful whenever I have courage to use it. It says, courage, by the way, is an interesting word that typically means something about physical or mental strength or bravery. Its roots, however, go into the Latin and French word for heart. I've heard it said that the suffix of the word age means something like wisdom. Wow, that's crazy, right? If you put the two together, you get the wisdom of the heart. Now, I think that's interesting put together. I think the wisdom of the heart, it depends on what is leading your heart, but definitely wisdom, because it is wise to just know to really accept, and it's what they want. They're gonna think what they want. You can't control that. You can't do nothing about it. And it kind of this kind of piggybacks a little bit off the whole unbothered episode a little bit, where I was like, you got to remain unbothered. But even if you are bothered, because some people ain't gonna never be unbothered, and some people, but you can still be, because if you really unbothered, you're not gonna say nothing, feel the need to defend yourself. But even if it's been times I've been bothered and I still don't say nothing. It's not the unbothered episode. We talked about that, but making a choice to be unbothered. But when it comes to letting the Lord fight for you, I'm telling y'all, He will. It is gonna be handled in such a crazy way if you just sit back and just chill and just be like, y'all got it. And that's it. Because even if you are bothered and you at home pissed, mad, punching walls, fighting air, you rather fight air in your house that can't nobody see than be fighting with people on Twitter that's in Instagram and YouTube. Because like I said, all that stuff Kanye posted, Kanye, we love you. You ain't wrong, but this is not the way to handle it. You are justified. Everything you say, I believe. But what's doing it? Because now you're adding fuel to the fire that you're crazy. So now people are steadily saying, "Oh, he crazy." See, you see him being crazy. You see y'all. See, that's what people waiting to do to you, and that's for somebody too. That's what people waiting to do to you. They're waiting to prove the theory about you that you crazy, or that you're delusional, or that you psychotic, whatever. Because I've been in a situation where I've been called delusional for calling somebody out about something that they did. And they did it. And I know they did it. And they know I know they did it. And they was like, you're delusional. And nobody believed me. It was like the little boy that cried wolf. And it's just like, you just got to be like, all right, you have to let people win. Win when you're a sore loser. And I think that's the main thing. Because it's like, I'm not going to let them win. No, I'm going to get them. And it's just like, and I keep doing it, but for real, it's useless. It's useless. And it then says, the next time you find yourself under attack and are about to resort to deixification, consider the wisdom of your own heart. Look inside yourself to your own reactions. If, like it says, Bucky, you can find yourself in a reaction mode, consider that there may be a kernel of truth here for you. Perhaps an entire bushel full. If there is something there, then draw a bit more on the source of a heartfelt wisdom and dive into the question even further. Perhaps say something like, that's very interesting. Can you say some more about what you see or how you see this playing out in my behavior? So with that, it's basically trying to call yourself to the carpet. I feel like in these situations, it's best to use these people who are going to be used to attack you, because again, you're always going to be attacked in your weak area. So when you can sit here and see what's your reaction or feel when it's happening, and you feel somebody trying to accuse you of something, like, say for instance, I've seen it happen in families where brothers will go around try to make the one brother look like he just did all this stuff and he didn't do all that, and don't nobody believe him. But you trying to argue and fight, it's gonna be revealed. I remember it was something I was watching, and I remember it was something about stealing some cookies or something, and he kept getting in trouble. And then finally one day the mama had came and seen the boy that was lying on the brother stealing the cookies the whole time. And then she went to the brother like, I'm so sorry for not believing you. Be prepared for that. And when that happens, when the person or the people come back and apologize to you after making you look away, or believing the lies, or entertaining the stuff, or believing you was crazy, or telling people you was crazy, or led the witch hunt against you, or followed the witch hunt, you gotta forgive them. It's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. Forgive them. I know you've seen a TikTok, everybody making the same video. And then finally, it said it's really simple, really. You might learn something that will liberate you. You may find yourself growing in confidence and inner strength as you choose inquiry over de-exification. You may also wind up closing a gap between you and the other person. After all, it does take great courage to step closer to the face of criticism, and your sincere inquiry may melt away something that prevents you from being even more effective. So with that, as we ending off, I think that the main goal is to ask questions. Why do you think that? Why do you feel that way? What did I do to make you believe that? I seen somebody said that they was gonna start asking people, you know, I said this, but what did you hear me say? Because sometimes people hear one thing, and it's been time I've said stuff and I meant it one way and it came up another way. And if somebody, what my girl say on my show, she was like, she told her, she said, I'm a lot of things you don't like, so let's just break it off here. If somebody is dating you, friends with you, and they always calling you this, you're that, and all these negative things, then you might have to hit them with that line. I'm a lot of things you don't like. Let's break it off, because at this point, if someone tries to is in a point where we really genuinely don't care what a stranger say about us. When it's somebody you know personally and they feel all these ways about you, when you asking these questions or figuring out what questions you want to ask them, that can be one of them. Well, why do you don't have to talk to me? Is that petty? I don't feel like that's petty. I don't feel like that's petty. Like, I mean, I'm a lot of things you don't like. So we could just end it right here, because this is not gonna get better. And I think that's where a lot of people are in life right now. And I think that's something we got to keep in mind too. So that's something to keep. Now, back to the whole R. Kelly and Kanye West thing. For real, that ain't that crazy how, like, one, they both from Chicago, but two, one person was doing all these things. And of course, Kanye was doing the rants and stuff. Can you compare the two? I kind of feel like you can, kind of feel like you can't. But seriously, he was doing all the stuff. Everybody would be like, no, the evidence was there. And people was like, nah, he ain't do that. Even, it's still people to the day that will say he didn't do it and was like, I don't believe he did that. And I was just like, wow. But then with Kanye West, it's like we quick to believe an evil narrative about him. Oh, he's the devil. Oh, he's crazy. Oh, he's just a mind control victim. Oh, he's just this and that. And he fed up. And unfortunately, he's not around the right people. And it's showing. So I don't know if Kanye see this, because I'm a fan. Be quiet. And not because you wrong. I think it's another meme. Be quiet and let God show people. All right, y'all. So this is the question of challenge for the week. Now, I put it in here and it clearly didn't save, so don't be talking about me. But the question of challenge for this week is, have you ever had a smear campaign against you? And then with that, I wanted to ask, what would your fill in the blank be? So we'll go back to the meme. So what would be your fill in the blank? What would it be where you say, I'm not defending anything in this season? Y'all got, unless they said I would. What would make you react and say, nah, I'm going to say something? Then don't feel bad, because at the end of the day, like I said, we're not perfect. We all got triggers. So what's something you, in this moment, you going to say, nah, if you say, oh, I'm a hoe, I'm going to stand up. Oh, I'm a liar, I'm going to respond that. Oh, you said I'm whatever. What will be your thing? What will be your thing? All right, y'all. That is all for today. Thank you for listening to my rant. I will see y'all next week. PSA signing out. Always remember, keep your head up like your neck hurt. Remember who you are. Make your mind up. Don't let it make you. And for real, don't let it make you, because you'll drive yourself crazy.